So in drawing this part, I found out there is nothing nominal on it. It drove me so crazy I had to go to an optical comparator. Um, if you're ever in doubt of a measurement, go bigger. I will use a Bridgeport and a file, and we'll get these tailored to the particular mold, which is pretty common at Cabka because the molds are all old, and so they're not going to be upset if something doesn't fit. I just don't want to have to remake it if it's too small, because if it's too small, then the plastic gets in there and it causes flashing, and that's why we have to make it in the first place. So always go bigger if you're nervous about something, but definitely don't be freaked out by the fact that this is a 51-degree angle. This is 12 degrees more than that. It's just bizarre. I don't even know if those bolt hole pockets are normal. The bolt holes pockets don't really matter though at all, because they end up using an aluminum bar and they jam it down in there and then they cut it off and they file it so that you can't see that there's bolts in there. And then when they take the part out, they drill that plug out. So wherever you end up on this hole will be fine. Other things to note, on the original part, this lip around the outside edge here was lower than it is on this part. Somebody had welded pads on the bottom of this plug, and so she said that the pads are creating the correct height from the pad to the top of the plug, the molded plug, but the sealing ring around the outside was then off by exactly as much as this weld was there. So I corrected that here. You're only 20 thousandths high here on this inner lip, and I have it as a sharp corner, but it absolutely doesn't need to be. So whatever cutter you have that you want to get in there and cut that with, whatever radius you end up at around here is just fine. Also, the same thing to say about this radius in here. This radius is not necessary. If you use a square sharp corner end mill and you end up nice and sharp down in there, that's fine. I would be a little nervous at making the radius too much taller than this sealing lip here, but that's not that critical. Same for this edge right here. I think they're just breaking that off so you don't cut yourself or whatever. I don't see a need for you to go get a radius cutter and cut that 30 thousandths radius around the outside edge there. I couldn't find a taper anywhere if you're nervous about that. I got a 30 thousandths radius. I think it was a 30 thousandths radius inside of this pocket here. It's not letting me select it, but inside of that pocket, I got a radius in there. I don't know that that's that critical. I think that was just that they didn't use a sharp cornered cutter. And I think those are my only notes. If you have any other questions, give me a call. Oh, even the holes aren't even in the center on this thing. If you're looking at that and you're wondering, the holes are not centered to anything that I can tell. They're not centered to the key at the bottom. They're not centered at the top. It's just really bizarre. So I think I've said everything. Give me a call.